Hi, good evening, everybody. So our presentation tonight is going to look at 4 or 5 things, and I'm going to kick us off. But just to give you a sense of what to expect, I'm going to begin by giving you the background on the BEF's overarching vision and also how the Wi-Fi project was conceived. I'm then going to look a little bit at the organization, the BEF, and the board so that you can get a sense of the totality of the resources that we have on the board. And after that, we're going to introduce the Wi-Fi team, and we're going to identify some of the challenges that we faced in executing upon our mission for the first half of the year, and indeed how those challenges have been overcome. We will look at some of our key success stories, and we will also update you on our upcoming rollout plans, and then afterwards we'll have an open discussion in the form of a Q&A. So let me start with some background. I'm grateful for the introduction, so you all know who I am. Taking a step back and looking at the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation itself and our vision, the vision for the BEF was formulated round about the summer of last year. And put simply, it is that Barbados will be the entrepreneurial hub of the world by 2020. You may have heard this more recently before in our Prime Minister's address to the nation. He began with that vision, although it wasn't credited to us, but I assure you that it is ours, and we came up with this last summer. The BEF is a non-profit association. Our missions are executed upon entirely by volunteers. We are supported by one paid, we basically have a secretariat of one, which is managed, administered, executed upon in all respects by Chris Harper, our program manager. We also work as volunteers in partnership with our sponsors and with our government and with the private sector. We are completely non-aligned, our activities are fully transparent, and we believe in solutions that embrace everyone, both in the execution of the solutions and also in the benefits that inure universally. We're striving to facilitate the creation of Barbados as a global hub for entrepreneurship in 2020. And we're doing this because we believe that it will create enormous opportunity and a better life for all Barbadians. So, how have we structured ourselves to realize this vision? You've got Peter Booth, you've got Damien McKinney, with quite different expertises. Peter obviously has been in financial services all his life, and Damien is into global business execution and leadership. Thanks. You have Dr. Basil Springer, who is extremely well known. He is the creator of the shepherding model within mentorship, and of course, he's the project manager at the Barbados Business Enterprise Corp, and is well known for having launched really the first venture capital fund, which supports entrepreneurial development here. Keith Miller, his expertise is in education and media publishing. He's responsible, of course, for the education and talent development pillar. Thank you. Well, there I am, you know what I do. My day job is in legal services, with an emphasis on international business. Derek, who is based in England, he is immersed in entrepreneurship education and works, he works with adults and children, but projects with children are very dear to his heart, and he's already been involved in one such project here in Barbados, which has been very successful. Thank you. Ben, of course, is a finance and tax guru and very well known. He's heading up our finance pillar. And Dr. Koma is also very well known for her business education, her long career in business education, and her experience both in education and development, but also in wider business, including government policy. So she's heading up our government policy pillar. Thank you, Chris. Bobby Morris, of course, is an expert in industrial relations, and he is one of our staunch supporters. One of the newer members of our board. He joined towards the end of the first quarter, and we value his input greatly. Similarly, Avril Gollop, who of course is the head of the public service and whose expertise is in public policy and admin. We're fortunate to have her on our board as well. Cedric Morrow, again, people will be familiar with him. He is also an industrial relations expert, and he's president of the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados. So it's very gratifying and also helps us to feel very robust that the labour sector in Barbados is so fully behind us. Alex is based in England, and his expertise is marketing and entrepreneurship. Thank you, Chris. Ta-da! And here is Chris, our program manager, who doesn't really need any introduction or explanation, but of course his experience is in business and arts management and entrepreneurship, and he really manages and coordinates everything at the secretariat level and in very wide ripples beyond that for the DEF. Thanks, Chris. These are our founding sponsors. They've been with us since the beginning and have continued to make a further commitment for the upcoming year, because our year sort of runs from November to November based on the timing of our inaugural summit last year. So these are all the people who fully committed to us at this time. We then have a wonderful team who is our communications team. And again, all of the work that they do for the BEF is on a completely volunteer basis. Thanks, Chris. And then we've just singled out a few here because these are people who got on board with the BEF right at the outset when no one really had a clue who we were or what we were up to. DE and Sun Isle have been extremely helpful with the incremental Wi-Fi effort, supplying equipment and also expertise, and just being available in all kinds of different capacities that you might say go beyond their job description. Bougainvillea Hotel was the very first hotel to open up their Wi-Fi network. They made a big investment in the Meraki system and have been very, very successful with it, and really gave us a great show of strength and confidence when they went ahead and did that. And Lex Caribbean, which happens to be my firm, but is also an interesting example of a Wi-Fi sharer because of the fact that we're in the business of legal services and we have extremely onerous duties of confidentiality to our clients. So there can be no possibility at all that any of our information is compromised in any way. And we also had to be very certain that none of our clients would feel undermined by the fact that we offer a guest network to the public. In fact, our guest network, we've spent a little bit of money in the context of an overhaul of some internal IT systems, but we are actually sending a signal as far as Champers to the west of our office and as far north as Golf Club Road. So we've really made a big effort to do our part as far as the movement is concerned, but quite frankly, we've also already gained a huge amount of PR from it. And for anyone who is looking at the cohesion between IT and PR, our vision for this internet connectivity and the potential for it to penetrate in the same way that mobile phones have here is that it will give people who share their Wi-Fi the most enormous presence in the market in a way that currently doesn't exist. So on that note, I would like to hand over to John and let him move forward with some updates and so forth. Thank you.